Hey, welcome to Side New with JW. This is Side New number 91. What's your standard? So, you are the individual that sets your standard in everything that you do. And depending on what your job or your profession is, there might be standards that you have to meet to, be able to do certain things. So, in my profession, we have standards. We have standards all day in all kinds of different ways. And one of them is our physical fitness. So where our physical fitness is, and every single year we have to do these physical fitness tests, and we do, ones that we prep for, and then we do the actual one that is for score, and then there's other ones that come around, and we have to go ahead and accomplish these. Now, based on what the standard is, everything has a specific number to what you need to meet, and there's what I consider the low standard, the medium standard, and that high standard in it. And as long as you meet the standard, though, as long as you accomplish the score for the lowest standard, you still meet the overall organizational and institutional standard. That's fine. But why? Why are you only going to shoot for that low standard? Why are you only going to try to accomplish that low standard when you know that you have more inside of you? And it doesn't matter when you're doing it, whatever the standard is, you are the individual that sets your own standard. And you're the individual that has to go ahead and look in the mirror afterwards and be okay with that standard. Now, I'm not perfect. I won't say that I'm perfect, but I have never ran a low, or I've never accomplished a low or medium standard. I've always accomplished a high standard. And it goes over into other things that I try to do. I do not try to accomplish the bare minimum when it comes to anything or everything. I personally have a standard that is set higher than that high standard, because that is what I want to be able to do. That is what I want to be able to accomplish. That is where I want to be able to lead from. That is where I want to be able to go and say, hey, this is what I am able to do. And here, this is also what you're able to do. Because if I'm able to do it with this amount of, training, this amount of exercise, this amount of, working out, then you can also. And if not, you can go ahead and get higher than mine. Because there are individuals every single day that accomplish a standard that is higher than mine. But it's still within that high standard. And those individuals, they do more. And once again, I'll be honest, they do more than what I do, but I am the individual that sets my standard. And I know what I do. I know exactly what I do to accomplish the standard that I accomplish in every single thing that it is. So when you're willing to just be okay with that bare minimum standard, think about this. When you move on, say you leave the job that you're in right now, and people think, hey, you're doing a great thing, you're doing good things, you're doing okay things, whatever. You go to another job where the standards are a little bit higher, and you can't meet those standards because, hey, you've been, doing the bare minimum in your previous job. How are you going to go ahead and accomplish it? Are you going to be able to step up to the plate and accomplish a higher standard all of a sudden when you haven't been doing it previously? There are going to be those individuals that can go ahead and adapt to it. Hey, all right, well, I only did the bare minimum over here because that's what was expected and that was asked of me. So when this is the bare minimum and it's a little bit higher than the old one, and now that's what's being asked of me, I can go ahead and do it. But are you able to, and are you willing to look yourself in the mirror every single day and be okay with the bare minimum? Are you going to be okay with that low standard? Because here's how it translates for me and my mindset and how I think about it. If you're willing to be okay with the low standard, you are not upset when you get this low standard, you accomplish this low standard, you complete it, then how are you going to want more when it comes to success? How are you going to ask for more when it comes to success? How are you going to be able to accomplish all the things that you want to accomplish, but you're barely willing to put out when it comes to whatever it is, the standard that is being asked of you, and you're just barely accomplishing it? I don't see how you're going to be able to be successful. You're the individual that has to be able to see that, has to be able to set that standard, and that standard has to be high. The quality has to be there. Everything that you do, it's like a customer service. The standard that has to be high enough for those individual customers to come back? Why would they want to come back to a company, or why would they want to go ahead and purchase things from an organization that barely meets the standard when it comes to it? Whether that's safety standard, whether that's the quality of the product, why would an individual want to buy that? I would rather pay more for a quality product that meets a higher standard than a product that barely meets the standard. Now, I got it. You're not always the individual that sets the organizational, the institutional, the standard of this product, but you are the individual that sets your standard. You're the individual that goes ahead and tells yourself, hey, this is how much I'm going to put out. This is what I'm going to go ahead and accomplish. This is what I am going to do to ensure that I am above standard and not barely meeting it, or even worse, below standard, because there's so many individuals that sometimes come in below the actual standard, and then they still expect, and they still want, and they still ask for more. Why should we give you more? Why should you deserve more? Why should you get more? Why should you be looked at as anything more than an individual that is only willing to put out the bare minimum? Think about that, and think about what's your standard. Think about what you're doing to set your own standard overall. And can you fix it? Can you accomplish a higher standard? Can you set a higher standard for yourself? Because if you can, and the answer to that is yes, then why are you not doing it? Simple question. Why are you not doing it right now? Because overall, if it's just laziness and it's excuses, that laziness and those excuses are not going to get you any closer to the success that you dearly want in life. Think about that. Think about that overall. Because at the end of the day, look, you have to be in the game mentally. You have to have the mindset to set that high standard, or you're never going to accomplish the successes that you want to accomplish. Until my next video, I appreciate you watching. Decide new number 91. What's your standard? Like it, share it, and as always, give me the feedback.